In this lecture, we are going to create our very first controller for this project. Alright, so right here inside of the app folder, we have a controllers folder. Right click on it and then we are going to create a new class. So to start with, I'm going to create one controller which is called base controller. So for now, there will be nothing inside of this controller. We also want to specify a namespace for this controller. This should be app/controllers. And then click on OK. Okay, so we have a PHP file here, a namespace app controller, and then the class definition. This is just going to be empty for now. Okay, so let's come back here again inside of the controllers folder. I'm going to create one new class. This is going to be index controller. Okay, so it's going to share the same namespace app controllers. Click on OK. So inside of the index controller, we are going to create a method, public function show. And here we are just going to echo inside home page from controller class. Okay, so we have created a base controller and then we have created an index controller. So what we want to do is to actually extend the base controller. So this is going to extend base controller. The reason why I'm creating the base controller here is there may be something that we want all of our controller to share. For such a situation, we are going to actually put that here. So if, for example, I want to create a method, public function test, and then this method is going to be shared by all of the controller, or I want to define a specific property here that all other controllers should inherit. So then we are going to place it here. So the bottom line is whatever is going to be generic to all of our controller, we'll place it here. So right now there's nothing to place here. We just leave it like this. Then come back here. So what we want to do now is come to routes.php. And here we are going to instantiate our controller class to be index equals new index controller. Then we are going to say index show. Okay, so this is actually going to fail now, but let me just change this to slash and then this should be home. So this is going to fail because we are not including the path to this class. So let's refresh on the page. Okay, so fatal error, uncalled class, app, controller, index controller. So what we need to do is just come here and say require once. Okay, so the path that we want to require slash dot dot slash controller slash. First of all, we need to require the base controller because the index controller is actually extending it, and then we can just duplicate this and change this to index controller. Right, so let's do a refresh on the browser. Okay, inside home page from controller class. So what we have done is actually just create a very basic controller and then added a method to that controller and then use the controller inside of our routes.php. You can already begin to see a potential problem with what we have done here. Right here, we're just including this base controller and index controller. So let's say we have 5 routes here. We are going to be including how many files here. So we are going to have a more efficient way to work around this, which I'm going to show you in subsequent lecture. But for now, we're just going to leave things like